What's up, everybody? It's West 7TCG, and your boy finally got a haircut, dude. I hope you guys are happy about that. Now I can look like slightly more intimidating, like when I'm playing Flesh and Blood. I can have my head down like this, to be shuffling cards. When you say so, maybe just slightly look up like this, so you can barely see my eyes. Maybe adjust my head every now and then. I can just have a pose like this. Look how fucking intimidating this looks. You have zero clue what's going on right now. Little do you know, I'm just like rolling my eyes like left and right, and it's making me dizzy. I'm probably gonna stop it now. But also like super good the living fuck out of this. But so what is today's video? This is gonna be another kind of discussion video diary, just me talking. Those seem to be some of the most well received videos, just me talking. So ProQuest season just ended. And I don't know if it's going to come out before or after this video, but I should have my Azalea deck tech from my PQ season. It is the deck I played the most. I played like one PQ of Dash IO. Dear God. I'll have a video tech of that too, but dear God, that one was something. But for those who know and you've seen some of my past videos, I took a competitive break from Flesh and Blood. And it was possibly leading into a real break from Flesh and Blood or just quitting altogether. But obviously, I'm not going to repeat most of it because you should have already seen the videos. If you're not, go watch the videos. It has a lot more in depth. Um, if you guys want to know the nitty gritty, but the short story of it is, um, it just wasn't. It wasn't the meta. It wasn't the game. It was just something within me that was causing me to hate it, and what I was surrounding myself with. But since then, a lot of those factors are gone. Don't have those factors anymore. So I got to enjoy playing at least the game of Flesh and Blood. But then the next step when I came back was, do I want to compete? Like, do I even want to travel? Do I want to do that? And for the longest time, it was no. During all of RTN season, I did not a single RTN, and at no moment what I was like, man, I really wish I was there. I was just like, meh. I played really close attention to all the data, but I didn't care that I wasn't a part of the data. I didn't care that I missed my nationals invite. I didn't care. I didn't want to play. There was some type of funk going on inside of me. This PQ season rolls around. Some things happen in real life, and I think I have my spark back. I literally thought I had it back. And then I started doing a small amount of prep, mostly for the team, not for myself, but for the Flesh and Blood team. And weirdly enough, I never felt like super invested for myself. Obviously, for them, I've been super invested the whole entire time. I'm making sure that my players are set up in the best possible positions, but for myself, I just did not care. But my friend on the channel, Nathan Lasangan, you guys have seen him on the channel a few times. You guys have probably seen my Twitter photo of me facing him in top 8 and in Swiss like multiple times. Um, he kept saying, Isaac, come to an event. Isaac, come to an event with me. Isaac, come to an event with me. You'll love it, trust me. And I was super resistant to it. Many times I just said no. I didn't want to. And eventually I cracked. Eventually I cracked one time. I was like, alright, whatever. I'll come. Pause. I literally just whipped up a random Azalea deck. Went to that PQ. Um, then the next day, did I play in a PQ the next day? I didn't play in a PQ Sunday. I don't believe that next Sunday. If I remember correctly, I did not. But then the next week happens, and a real life event changes. I won't go in depth with it because it's something very personal. But a real life event happens, and I have a little extra free time. But like, still not sure if I'm gonna be able to go on Sunday. He says, Isaac, come with me on Saturday, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I come with him on Saturday. Just fine result. Oh, so I forgot to mention how I did in the first PQ. I think I went either 4-2. Yeah, I went 4-2, but I missed top. I missed top. One of my teammates that I coach, he bowled at 10th. There was a lot of people that had like the X2 record. Um, happens. So then I forgot to mention about the actual Azalea deck itself. It was really just thrown together based on Brody's list and based on card availability that I had. It just so ended up very close, but there was a few cards I was missing, and then obviously later down the line I ended up finding a few of those cards. Still don't have the list I would really like to have. You'll see in the deck tech that there are some cards in there that are not playable. I promise, they're not playable. Well, going into next Saturday, I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Because I told people I actively did not care if I won or lost. I was just playing these to play in these. Mind you, I'm driving an hour to 3 hours to just not care. That would be weird if you told anyone else that, but I convinced myself and other people of that. And I went like 3-2 on Dash.io. The sucky thing is that actually got me upset was my first 2 rounds I punted. Easy, guaranteeable wins. First one was against a friend, Nathaniel Schneider. Um, I have lethal on my hand. All I gotta do is play the boom grenade off the top of my deck. He goes to 1. I pistol him. I take his hand, and then all I gotta do is send 2 breakpoints plus my last pistol shot, and he's dead. Um, we go to blocks, reactions. We go pass, and then I look at the top of my deck, and I'm like, oh, it's the boom grenade. I forgot to play it, and I could have played it. Actually, he would have been dead that turn because I could have cranked it and then shot him. Because I could have shot at least twice. Yeah, so I just had lethal that turn. It ate me up a little bit because it's like, that's a preventable mistake. That's all preventable. Next day rolls around. We're traveling up to Cleveland at Champion Immortal, I think it's called, something like that. But it's just me and Nate this time. The third person that usually comes with us is not coming with us. I go back to Azalea only because the person I'm with keeps calling me like a bitch. Because he knows how good I am at Azalea. He knows how good I am at Flesh and Blood. But I have a lot of self doubt. Even though, so like it's weird. I live on 2 ends of the spectrum constantly. I have a lot of confidence in myself because I know how good I am. I know how much I know. But then weirdly enough, the pendulum usually just swings this way till I'm like, yeah, I'm just the worst Flesh and Blood player. And for the longest time, I didn't know why. I didn't know why it was like that. It was just something that's always happened. I've been good at a lot of things, but then like one piece of self doubt creeps in and just explodes and goes everywhere. Pause. And now I'm just like the most unconfident person ever. Even if I don't show on the outside, on the inside, I'm just like on the outside, I'm just yapping, saying like, "Yep, you're about to dookie stomp me." Well, on the inside, I have like a slight bit confidence. So I'm like, I can win, but it's like most of them, it's like, if I lose, it's probably gonna happen. There's nothing I can do. Just accept it. Just lose in peace. But Nate never gave up on me. He kept saying, "Dude, you're better than this, bro. Why are you acting like this? Like you're so much better than this." And I think the thing that like literally woke it up in me was when I got top 8 at that event, playing literal troll cards and like halfway memeing and not really prepping. Because like still the Stone Charge, I'm not actually prepping like for myself. I'm playing like minimum amount of Azalea games. I'm only playing so many other decks so my teammates can get good practice against those decks. And that top 8 was Azalea. If you guys know, last PQ season, Azalea was my only top 8, and I got second with her. I ended up losing to Jesse in top 4. Again, he's the one that got me at the first PQ I went to the season. On Seklo, a matchup that, like, historically, like, I haven't really had trouble with. with any deck really. But Jesse just is somewhat different, and Jesse got me. Jesse got me in top four. So there's that. I have that under my belt. I could have ended this PQ season with that, and I would have been fine. I would have been like, you know what? I didn't prep. I didn't really care. I got second. But on the way home, we ran out of gas, so we had to like walk to a gas station like 2 or 3 miles. And on there, he was just Nate was just talking to me. He was like, "Hey man, like, why are you like this? Like, I know how you act when it comes to making us better, but why don't you care about yourself getting better? I know how you tell us to be competitive, but why don't you want to be competitive?" And like, I try to explain like why I think the way I think, and like he's just like literally chopping and reading through it. He sees something deep within me, like, and like and after like talking, I thought I even figured it out. After he was just like explaining like the philosophy of all of it, I was like, oh, it's just because I'm scared of being um looked at as someone that's an idiot if I fail. And he's like, that's part of it. And I was like, oh, I thought that was just the whole thing. And basically, what it boiled down to is I've garnered a lot of respect for my intelligence in the Flesh and Blood community. Um, and I'm a person that does so much fucking research, in like game planning, deck choice, deck list. Like I do so much prep to the point where if I fail, like if I don't win, instead of saying, "Oh, I just failed," I consider that a literal like I'm actually just fucking stupid and I don't know anything. I mean, like no one discredits anything I say except me. I discredit everything I say. I'm like, I start questioning myself. I'm like, do I really know what I'm talking about? If I don't win this PQ, do I know what I'm talking about? And it's like, if we really want to be reasonable, like, no, that's never an actual take that you should have. But because I have such a high standard for myself, that's the way I acted. That's the way I acted. If I didn't win, I'm just an idiot. So I stopped playing seriously because I think that's what it is. I stopped playing seriously. Playing like competitively is what gives me enjoyment. Playing casually just doesn't give me that much enjoyment. Like okay, that's a lie. It gives me an amount of enjoyment, but like it never can take over what it feels to be competitive in this game. But I was afraid of looking bad. So instead of proving myself right, I didn't give myself a chance to be proven wrong. So I hid behind this mask of I don't like flesh and blood. I don't like flesh and blood. I don't like flesh and blood. I don't want to play. To a point I eventually convinced myself of that. All because I was scared of being criticized by people who don't even criticize me. Like, there's been no point where I've not done well in an event, and someone goes up to me and goes like, "See, Isaac, you don't know what the you're talking about. You're an idiot." Like, no one's ever done that. But I've done that to myself. And there's a lot of times where I punt games. Like, I'm a serial punter. It's happened in every single card game I've ever been in. And he was like, it all becomes like, you know what the right play is, but then you start to question yourself if you're actually correct because of things that's happened in the past. So you start punting. Because again, if people have heard me talk about flesh and blood, if people have had conversations they've been coached by me, they know how knowledgeable I am. I just like to throw it all away sometimes just because I get slightly unsure about one play. And if that play goes bad, it's just a cascading effect. It's just rolls and rolls and rolls until all the wheels come off, and then I'm just fucked. Happens every time. But he told me I gotta break out of that. Especially if I want to enjoy what I'm doing. Because there's no reason I should be investing this much time in flesh and blood and not getting anything out of it. So I went into this last PQ week. I actually did some practicing. I cared. I wanted to win. So, and the thing is, it was only in the 11th hour that actually, like, it really locked in. Because for my locals, I played Volcano, a deck list you guys will be seeing soon. It's literally sitting right here. It's basically like Icelander if it was Kano. It's just playing a bunch of physical attacks and then arcane damage spells. It's not good. I was like, ooh, what if I play that during the PQ? Well, it's because it's the last week. I'm not trying to go to Amsterdam. I didn't really care that much. Why not just send it? See what happens. Then I was like, oh, maybe it catches people off guard. And he was like, bro, what the fuck, why? Why would you play that when you know you can do good on Azalea? And I, like, tried to give him some, like, bullshit reasons that I think I believed, but, like, I should never have believed. So, now it comes to the morning. This is literally 27 hours ago. This conversation happens. I go, ooh, I could play this KO deck. I could play this combo KO deck with, like, Beaten Checkers and Sash, and I got to try just, like, 30 somebody. He goes, or you could just play Azalea, because you're really good at Azalea. And I'm like, but, like, KO's really good right now. He's like, oh, yeah, 100% agree. You can play it. I just think you should play Azalea. You're good at Azalea. And it's like, but Bull Kano. And he's like, stop being a bitch. Play Azalea. And I was just like, whatever, man. Fine. It doesn't matter. I cave in mostly because I don't want him going like, see, you should just play this. You should just play this. If I do like really bad at the fucking event, so I played it. But once like round one happened, I got that round one versus a what did I face round one? Oh, versus a Bolton, and I could like feel like the power that was in that deck because I like really went and studied it this time. I was just like, oh, this feels good. This feels real good. And I took that momentum all the way into top 8. I got top 8. Second one this season, second one was Azalea. At this time, I've only played 4, so half of my events I've top 8'd. Two-thirds of them have been, two-thirds of the time I bring Azalea, I've top 8'd. Round one of top 8 in quarterfinals, I faced my teammate. Literally the guy that I rode with. Literally the guy that convinced me to play Azalea. Nate. He's on Rhinar. This is his, this is another top 8 for him. He's been top 8 like crazy. We have a very good game. He just changed his list to like a claw hybrid list, and he was trying to fatigue me. And me and him were literally talking because we're like spreading our decks so we can sort our deck for our deck check. And like I asked him, mostly because like I'm his coach. I'm like I know the game plan already. Like, but I just want to make sure because like secretly part of me wanted him to be able to go on because I think if he won, he wanted to go to Amsterdam. I think I don't 100% remember, but I wanted him to win. But there's no way he would let me just throw the match. He would never let me just throw the match. He would tell me to play. So I walked up to him after done, and I just looked at him and was like, I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass. And then I did. I won a quarterfinal match. Surrounded by a lot of people. It was a good fucking match. I got there. Quarterfinal match. I'm against Raj playing Kano. He was one of my losses in Swiss. I think one of my 2 losses in Swiss. He just turn 1 killed me in Swiss, and then we played some practice games, which is playing enough that we end up facing each other in semis. So we both got like a really good feel of each other's deck, but again, I knew how to play the deck from both sides. I didn't know if he 100% did. So he ends up just like clapping me early, and I'm just like mentally just like packing it in. I'm at like 22. He's at like 27. I'm dead when he tells me I'm dead. He ends up having like a dud turn. I smack him for like 14. He has another like okay turn. He gets me to like 10. I send him to 4. He goes to his turn. I go to my turn because he just like blocked out my last turn. I go, all right, I'm just gonna send it. So I send Bolton Shot for 7. So the Bolton Shot for 7 takes him to 4. I go Death Dealer, play a buff, Azalea, and this other arrow. I was already got by send an arrow, lethal on the stack. Coming in for 7, he's at 4. He goes, oh, so I just have to kill you now. And I'm like, I don't know how we're in this position, but yep, yes you do. And he's just like, he's just staring at his hand. He's just staring at it. And then I slowly start to realize, I was like, wait, am I getting there? Because the previous turn, he got hit by Seek and Destroy, and he had to discard a Blazing. So he didn't have an arsenal. So he had to combo off with just a random 4-card hand. And I drew 2 blues, and I still had Spellfire Cloak up, so I had AB2, Spell Void, and then AB2. If he double spelled me, because he probably only needed 2. Well, he probably only needed, probably need 3. So I had AB2, 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 and then Spell Void went on the first one. He looks at his hand, and he just cannot get there. His hand just does not do damage. The top of his deck just does not do damage. And I kill him. And it was just so shocking. Because it was just hard to believe that I won. It just didn't make sense. It did not make sense that I won. But I did. And then my heartbeat didn't get fast because I don't really get super nervous. But like that competitiveness started to come out, and I was just like, oh yeah, this feels good. But I'm in the finals now versus Ryan Rich, a Ohioan local. We're in Indiana. We talk about splitting. The issue is neither one of us wanted the invite for Amsterdam. We just wanted the gold foil. He offered to split. I'll be honest, I really just wanted the gold foil, like really bad. But he made a really good offer. I declined it, but it was for one reason. If I couldn't just get the gold foil straight up, I wanted to play. I wanted to play for one reason. I wanted to see if I still had it. So because I've taken this competitive break, I haven't got to face a lot of high-level competition, like on the regular. Like every now and then I get to face it, and obviously I have a team that I have, so I get to face like some good players every single week. But it's in like in a different environment where we're just trying to make each other better. We're not trying to like when me and Ryan sit down from each other, like, and we're trying to win. We're just there. We're just trying to fuck the other opponent up. We're trying to all stops win. It's not like, oh, let's break down this play. It's just I'm trying to fuck you up. You're trying to fuck me up. That's all it is. And I want to see if I go toe to toe with him. And he's been on Bolton for about a year now. And this is a matchup I wanted to see. I wanted to see Bolton. But I knew in the back of my mind he was on a different kind of Bolton because I literally judged the PQ that he went to and got top 4 at. I knew a version of Bolton he was on. He was on like the Josh Law mid-range combo Bolton. And he even teched in some shots. And he ended up getting there. The matchup was weird. There were so many times I came in for like 13, 14, 15, and he was just stuffing me constantly. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. Because like I'll come for 13, his hand would be 3 block 3s and a sink below, and I'm like, okay, that's weird, but sure. I'll come for 15, he'll be like shunt from hand, shunt from arsenal, like block from hand, shunt from hand, shunt from arsenal. And I'm like, okay. And this would happen the whole entire game, where I come in for like a big ass number, he'd be like, huh, my hand or my hand plus equipment just perfectly blocks this by total accident. There are so many times he's like, oh, I have such a bad hand, but it like perfectly blocks exactly what I'm trying to do, and it's just like I could not get through damage. It got to the point where he was at like 17, and I looked at him, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's winning because I don't even think I have 17 damage in my deck. It was a red infecting shot, a yellow fire sniping, and then like 5 blue arrows. I literally couldn't kill him even if he no blocks me the rest of the game. He ended up getting there. He opened up his gold foil, it was an Arcane Lantern, which he asked me like, would I have been happy if I opened up an Arcane Lantern? And I'd have been like, I'll tell him like, I really don't know. As a Kano player, I've been slightly tilted, but realistically, it would have been a gold foil that I won. So like, I probably wouldn't have been too upset about it. And then I explained to him like why I wanted to play him, and I was like, I just wanted to see if I could compete with like good players again since I came back. And Ryan is like such a good fucking sport, man. Like his table talk is like he's like one of the only person I can table talk with, and then not be awkward and me just like yapping at my opponent. and he's a hell of a fucking player. There's a lot of good fucking players that I've played at this PQ season that I was just like, can I hang with this person? And I was. Like, some of them I beat, some of them I had very fucking close. Dude, I played Rhea at one of them, Azalea versus Prism, hard matchup for me, and I got Rhea to 1. And I just got stuffed a few turns, couldn't get over. But I guarantee if I played, and I even like gave up early in mid game. I guarantee if I played like a little bit less sloppy, I probably could have gotten that 1 point of value somewhere, and might have won. I faced Mark. I don't remember his last name, but he was the one that retired Dromai. No, he was the one that won the calling. What calling did he win? It was on Dromai. He won a calling with Dromai. I don't forget which calling it was, but he was on Victor. And I think he got like top 2 at that event. That's a bad matchup for me, especially he played Grindstone as he should have. And he's a good technical player. I got him to 1. And then counter matchup, and he like was saucing me with trounces and test of strength and stuffing me whenever he needed to. But I found a way to get back in the game. I waited patiently, and I got him to 1. And it's like being out, at least trying to compete for that long period of time, not really investing a lot into the deck you're playing, while you have people that's literally been like preparing so much for like these events on their hero. For me just to walk in, not even have a real sideboard, and to be able to get multiple top 8s with Azalea, a hero that like I'm not actually known for. I'm known for like literally my playmat that I use all the time has Kano and Dashon. Those are the 2 heroes people know me for. People know me from back in the day for like my Bolton and my Ice Lexi. But like no one goes like, oh, Isaac, the Azalea player. Maybe now they do, since I've been putting in work the last few events. But it does feel good. It does feel very, very good that I'm back and I'm having success again. The biggest thing is just like not letting the success be like a one-time thing. Like it's like building upon this success. Like making sure the next time I travel to an event, like I'm also doing like I think my next event's probably like the calling Minneapolis. I go there, day 2 of that thing. I have historical fail rates of losing win and ends at callings for day 2. This time I go is to get day 2. There's not much more I'm going to talk about. Obviously, you guys will get to hear more about the Azalea games on my deck tech, if it has not come out yet. But what I just want to do before I log off is I want to thank all of you guys for that's watching this. Because it's you guys that gave me the confidence to like think I know what I'm talking about. If it wasn't for you guys like listening to everything I say, internalizing it, and then going like, dude, I played your deck, or I tried your Adele, and I did this in my army, or I did this at a PQ, I did this at Pro Tour. There were literally people that were asking me to teach them Dash for the Pro Tour and Worlds. There was a few people that wanted me to teach them some Kano stuff before Worlds. And it's like, when you have people that are obviously such a high tier Flesh and Blood player, but that are coming to you, and it's not even like I'm like one of the most public players. Like I have like people know me, right? But it's not like, oh, the first person I think of when I think of a smart person or a coach is like Isaac. Again, maybe like in a smaller circle they do, but we're talking about like people from different countries. People from different countries. And that just means a lot. That I feel like I've solidified myself in this community. I'm certified. That's awesome. So you guys don't have to hear me yap anymore. I'm going to go ahead and log off. Again, thank you guys for joining me on this journey. And this is only the next chapter. Like Cody Rhodes, I will finish my story. Adrenaline in my soul, waiting for me to start the show. I'm randomly just going to log off, by the way, while singing. Whoa!